May I come in, sir?
Please come in. Hello, have
Hello,
a
sir.
seat. What is your name?
My name is Sneha.
May I see your passport, please?
Sure.
Okay, Sneha, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
I'd like you to tell me how do you normally relax yourself?
Whenever I feel a need to relax myself, I go out for a walk, go on a bike ride with my friends, watch a movie, or simply lie down listening to music. It depends on my mood.
Okay. Tell me who is your ideal and why.
My ideal is no one but myself. I'm surely influenced by a great number of people, but I personally do not like to impose anyone else's ideology or persona. I accept as I am and I try to improve myself constantly.
Okay. What qualities do you admire in a person?
Hmm, the qualities that I admire in people include honesty, sincerity, truthfulness, industry, and a good sense of humor. I like to see these qualities in people and I like to be around people who possess these qualities because I believe that these qualities define a person and distinguish him from others in the crowd.
Okay. Uh, what qualities would you like to inculcate in your children?
I would like my child to have qualities such as solidarity, a keen sense of inquiry or curiosity, honesty, and a great passion for knowledge. I would make all efforts for my child to adapt these qualities because I believe a child with a keen sense of inquiry and a passion for knowledge can always be independent and pursue his dreams with all his heart.
Okay. What kind of people do you think become famous?
I guess the people who've achieved something creative in their respective fields become famous, such as scientists, writers, or artists. There are other professions where fame comes with the title, such as film stars or politicians.
Okay, that is the end of part 1. Now, in the second part of the test, I'm going to give you a topic and going to ask you to speak on this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. With this topic card, you're going to have this piece of paper and a pencil to help you prepare what you're going to say. Okay, you're going to have 1 minute for this preparation and 2 minutes to speak. I'm going to stop you after your 2 minutes are over. So you can start your preparation right now. Okay, your 1 minute is over. You can begin.
Okay. I'm of the opinion that most public figures like to stay in the limelight either by proving their expertise or by causing controversies. One such famous personality that I remember is Baba Shantaram, previously known as Shantaram Sharma. He was one of the most famous people in the 80s. After earning a PhD in philosophy, Mr. Shantaram went to teach in the local university where his unconventional methods of teaching drew everybody's attention. At the age of 30, he left teaching and started conducting meditation camps all over India. His work and his fan following earned him the famed title of Baba, which means a sage. He was controversial because he divested a common man of his beliefs and made him to question the so-called religions. His denial of marriage as a social tradition and acceptance of love as a sublime energy, his consistent verbal attacks on the established systems made him a highly controversial figure. His plea for a free life drew enormous number of Western youth, and he became a guru to millions of people. Baba Shantaram always condemned the established systems and rebelled against the social ways of life. His ashrams all over India were pouring with foreigners, and this made the local people suspicious about what goes on in the ashram. There were a lot of rumors and protests against Baba Shantaram, but all this earned him an even greater fame. Ultimately, Baba Shantaram became so much controversial that people reading Shantaram's books or even wearing his symbols were considered to be a subject of abomination. I'm of the opinion that Mr. Shantaram was an independent thinker and a free ideologist. However, I do not agree with his ways of finding God. I personally believe that he was one of the most controversial people in India.
Okay, thank you. Now I'd like to ask you a few more questions about controversies in media. Is it true that some emerging personalities try to cause deliberate controversies around them?
I believe so. Driven by the desire for publicity, most of the budding public figures try to make intentional faux pas just to remain in the limelight. For example, a budding writer may write something against a religious leader or a political leader, or an upcoming politician may attack on an established tradition. However, such controversies or any other controversies are always used as a public stunt in the entertainment industry. And that is why we can see many of the film stars try to attempt a lot of controversies. On the other hand, there are some people who get into controversies unintentionally.
Okay. Do you think the controversies should be supported, or should we try to find causes and solutions for them?
I firmly hold the view that suppression or negligence is not the answer. However, I think that the controversies should initially be gauged by the media as well as the public and assess whether there's something that really matters to society or it doesn't. For example, a social worker. A social worker may claim to have an uncovered corruption in the society, and such news should be given sufficient importance and significance by the media as well as the people, as this is something that really matters to the society. However, if it's just something like a minor difference in the opinion of two film actresses, such news should not be exaggerated or even publicized, as they are simply not worth it.
To what extent do you think that the news presented by TV media is reliable?
I do not say that whatever they show is always misleading, nor do I believe that whatever they broadcast is the absolute truth. However, there are a few news programs and stories that are produced after a rigorous research, efficient evidences, and a lot of confirmations. Such news are always reliable. However, on the other hand, we see that there are times when there is no news available. At such times, the news channels are forced to make one. And so simple happenings are exaggerated and presented in the form of news. However, I believe that, it is easily noticeable by a wise mind. Also, we can see that in the present competitive frenzy between the news channels, Many producers are tempted to broadcast news and stories that without even confirming their truth, and this is simply because they want to be the first one to broadcast it. So such news, I think, is unreliable in my opinion.
Okay. What do you think can be the causes of the controversies?
I'm not entirely sure, but the causes of controversies could be they may include qualities like personal ego, conflicts, difference in the opinions, or difference in the culture. It can even be a difference in the upbringing of people. It varies from people to people. It can also be suppression or just a hunger to rebel. As we've discussed earlier, some controversies are purely intentional and some are totally innocent. Some controversies are worth looking into and some are worth ignoring. So I believe that whatever the reason be, controversies are going to happen as they are a part of the human behavior.
Okay. Thank you, Sneha. That is the end of your speaking test.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Thank you.
Let's review Sneha's performance in the speaking test. Sneha evidently had a remarkable command over the language as indicated by her answers in all parts of the test. Although she fumbled between a few answers, her fluency was continuously intact. The clarity of her speech was consistent with the flow of sentences. She comprehended all questions accurately, and when uncertain, she took some time in understanding the question fully. She approached the questions with comfort and delivered relevant answers. Sneha's choice of vocabulary was excellent. It contained a variety of words and she seldom repeated any of her expressions. This showed a wider and higher range of lexical resources than average speakers. Her grammatical structures were accurate. The kind of sentence forms she handled were outstanding and established her linguistic skills quite well. Sneha scored an 8 in her speaking test.